Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Dear Venerables and Upasaka, Upasika, today I am very happy being here and being able to share Dhamma with all of you.
各位法師、各位居士，今日我好開心可以喺呢度同大家分享佛法。
I also would like to thank ACC for inviting us, being open-minded to share Dhamma in the name of humanity.
喺呢度亦都好感謝阿彌陀佛關懷中心今次嘅邀請啦。
So, what is the topic today that we are going to talk about? The topic is sick body but healthy mind.
今日我哋要講嘅題目咧係身苦心不苦。
So, what is sick body? What is healthy mind?
咁其實身苦係啲咩咧？心苦又係啲乜嘢嘢嚟咧
We will talk more about it through this Dhamma talk. And today's main aim is to talk about it as we see in the Sutta.
今日咧，我哋就住呢個題目咧，其實我哋有幾部經典咧，我哋會提及到嘅。
So during this Dhamma talk, we will try to focus on some things. That is, we will see what is sickness, especially the physical sickness, and how this sickness caused mental suffering in our life.
今日我哋會講到嘅咧，就係我哋身體上面嘅痛咧，點樣去會影響我哋心理上面、我哋精神上面嘅痛楚嘅。
In order to know more about this physical sickness and mental suffering, we have to know something that is the reality of human body.
為咗理解呢個題目嘅話咧，我哋今日係會有對我哋身體上面咧會有多啲嘅認識嘅，同埋講解嘅。
Most importantly, we will talk here about the physical suffering and mental suffering and why we are suffering mentally, about physical suffering.
所以我哋今日會解釋到我哋身體上面嘅痛楚啦，同埋我哋精神上面嘅痛楚啦，咁同埋佢哋互相係點樣會影響嘅。
So, as we will know about the physical suffering, mental suffering, and the root cause of them, then we have the question, can we overcome that mental suffering?
除咗認識身苦同埋心苦之外咧，咁我哋亦都會去探討一下佢嘅原因啦，呢個痛苦嘅原因啦，同埋我哋能唔能夠去有啲咩方法可以去治癒嘅。
So, in order to overcome this mental suffering coming from the physical pain, we will see in the light of early Buddhist teaching.
喺根本佛法裏面咧，會有提及到呢一方面嘅問題嘅。
Let me start with a story that is a friend of my mother nowadays is suffering from paralyzed.
首先，我同大家分享一個真實嘅例子，就係我有一位朋友，佢嘅媽媽，佢啱啱咧係得到癱瘓嘅。
Her husband is doctor actually, but she got the paralyzed and she suffering not only physical pain but mentally. So nowadays he day and night she crying always about her suffering.
而呢個癱瘓咧，唔單止令到佢身體有痛苦啦，另外咧佢 嘅精神上面、心理上面，亦都係承受住好大嘅痛苦。
When I heard about this, I see she is suffering mentally more than physical suffering. When I heard about it, actually, she is suffering mentally more than her physical pain. 當我聽到呢一件事之後咧，我睇到佢其實佢最大嘅痛苦咧，就係佢心理上嘅種痛苦，係比佢身體上嘅痛苦多好多嘅。So why she is suffering more mentally about her physical suffering? You will understand when we go through this Dhamma talk today. 咁點解佢會喺精神上面有一個咁大嘅痛楚咧？咁今日嘅題目咧，我哋會講解到呢一個問題嘅。Now, a healthy life is wealth in our life, and everyone wants this wealth. Nobody want to be sick. Nobody want to be get sick, and nobody want to have the physical pain. 我哋每一個人咧都希望我哋身體健康嘅，冇人希望自己係生病嘅。But sometimes, due to known and unknown reasons, we get sick and we lose this wealth. 但係事實上咧，喺現實裏面有好多我哋已知同埋未知嘅原因啦，係令到我哋身體上面受到痛楚嘅。So sometimes unexpected sickness, sometimes unexpected injury, sometimes unexpected accidents. All this can happen anytime in our life. 有時候我哋係生病咧，有時候我哋會有意外啦。And we don't have control about our physical suffering, and we don't have control about what is happening outside of our life. 如果我哋得到一個身體上面嘅痛楚咧，其實我哋唔需要去刻意去控制佢嘅。But the problem is, once this thing happened to us, we suffer not only physically, but mentally also. 但係問題就係，我哋有咗身病之後，其實我哋嘅心亦都會跟隨住會有唔舒服嘅感覺嘅。So today's Dhamma talk main aim is how to handle this mental suffering that coming from the physical pain. 所以我哋今日要分享嘅就係，當我哋有辛苦嘅時候，我哋點樣可以去處理我哋心嘅問題。So when we talk about the physical pain, it can be the long-term sickness, it can be the sudden accident, it can be the difficulties to function the limbs or the parts of our body. These are the sickness that sometimes we have to go through in our life. 喺我哋日常生活裏面咧，其實我哋講緊身體嘅疾病咧，係包括會有殘疾啦，會有長期嘅病症啦。呢個咧會影響我哋嘅身體嘅機能啦、活動啦，同埋我哋日常嘅體力啦，同埋我哋能力嘅。So it is true that when we have some problems in our life physically, we have a lots of difficulties. For example, we cannot move, we cannot do the things that we do usually, we cannot go from place to place, we cannot sometimes talk properly. So there is a lots of difficulties in our life when we have any kind of physical difficulties. 喺身體能力嘅喪失咧，會影響我哋日常生活啦，包括我哋行住坐臥啦。But we have the good news that is, although the things happen to our body unexpected way, but there is a good news that is, all the disability or all the pain that we feel physically do not stop what we want to do in the future. 幸運嘅係咧，我哋即使係身體有障礙啦，但係咧佢其實唔一定會完全影響我哋日常嘅生活嘅。Now you see the pictures that she is sitting on the chair, right? Electronic wheelchair. Then what do you see when you look her face and what she holding? She seems like enjoying taking pictures or doing the video or recording. right? That's what she like. But you see, she is sitting on wheelchair, which means she have a kind of difficulties, but still she can go through it.
好似喺呢一幅圖片咁樣啦，相中嘅女士咧，佢坐喺輪椅上面嘅。雖然咧佢係喺身體上面有殘障，但係咧佢好似喺圖片上面，佢攞住佢個相機啦，其實佢係亦都係享受緊去拍照佢身邊嘅一切嘅人事物啦。咁呢一個咧，其實佢喺心理上面咧，其實佢唔會受到好大嘅障礙嘅。
When we look around the world, there is many people who want the life, although they have some kind of difficulties in their physical body, but still they win the life.
我哋喺生活上面其實見到其他人好多例子咧，係有一啲人其實佢有同樣嘅情況嘅，但係咧其實佢仍然對佢嘅生命係好熱愛嘅。
So here, one thing we have to keep in mind, that is, if you get sick physically, it causes problems, painful, but if you sick mentally, about that physical sickness is more difficult and more serious sickness.
所以我哋喺呢度睇到咧，如果我哋喺身體上面有承受一啲痛楚、承受一啲疾病嘅時候咧，呢一個痛楚咧，其實係遠遠不及我哋喺心理上面、精神上面所受嘅傷害嘅。
So now, as you know, with known and unknown reasons, sometimes we get sick physically. We have to go through so many difficulties physically. The problem is, the sad thing is, many people, when they have faced this kind of difficulties, they are suffer not only physically, but also mentally.
所以我哋睇到咧，其實好多人去喺身體上面嘅疾病，當佢有身體上面嘅疾病嘅時候咧，佢唔係淨係佢嘅痛楚，唔係淨係喺身體上面，亦都會喺精神上面。
So one thing what we can say is, actually it is not necessary to suffer mentally on physical sickness.
但係其實我哋係可以避免喺心上面受到痛苦。
So in this Dhamma talk, so in this presentation, we have a kind of limitations, what we are focusing, targeting the people like who are suffering for long time sickness, like paralyzed, or the people who lose their limbs, or the people who lose the limbs from their birth, like that.
所以喺今次嘅講座裏面咧，其實我哋會關注到有一啲長期病患嘅，例如係有一啲人佢會癱瘓，有一啲人咧係因為意外咧冇咗佢嘅手腳啦，或者係天生嘅殘缺。
But most importantly, here one thing is very important. That is, although physically there is some problems, difficulties, but the internal organs, like ability to think, to reflect, these things should be properly, or these things should be healthy.
我哋睇到咧，縱使佢身體上面有殘缺，但係咧喺精神上面佢仍然係可以去思考啦，可以去反思嘅。
Now here we have one question. For example, when you feel pain physically, then you know that you are feeling pain. So that means what? Your internal organs is working. You can feel it.
如果你嘅身體上面有痛嘅時候，你知道你依家當下你係有一個痛嘅感覺，咁即係話其實你仍然會有呢一份覺知喺度嘅。
So what we have to train our mind is to see that feeling as feeling.
我哋應該要去 訓練我哋嘅覺知能力，我哋知道我哋當下嘅一個感覺，當下我哋有啲乜嘢嘅感覺。
So as we said earlier again, so these teachings can be applied for those who have difficulties, who are suffering from their physical difficulties like the loss of limbs, okay, due to sudden accident or paralyzed, but still they can think, they can talk, they can listen. And the people who was born without limbs, like there's many people, right, who was born without hands, legs, or proper limbs, the body.
所以今次咧喺呢一個講座，邊一啲人係受益者咧？就係、如果佢有各種嘅長期病患啦，各種嘅身體問題啦，但係咧其實佢哋嘅六根咧仍然喺度運作緊嘅，佢哋可以睇到啦，可以聽到啦，可以講嘢啦，可以去思考嘅。
For example, now who we are here, it seems we don't have any difficulties, right? But these things can be happen maybe someone that we know, right? Someone we know or who knows what the things in our life.
而呢啲人可能唔係我哋在座嘅各位，但係咧有可能會係我哋認識嘅人啦。
So the people who have to go through this suffering, what kind of feeling they feel? Sometimes they feel like, okay, I will never walk again. I will never be happy again. And people are going away from me, from my side. They are not with me. And they lose life actually. They are suffering a lot internally, thinking about these kind of feeling and these kind of difficulties in daily life.
咁患病者咧，佢嘅感受係啲咩咧？佢哋會有可能會覺得，我由依家開始，我冇辦法再行咯，我冇辦法再得到快樂啦，我身邊嘅朋友會離開我啦，我生命咧再冇其他嘅意義啦。
So in Buddhism it says, sometimes things happen that we didn't think. Sometimes things happen what we did not think. Anything, anytime can be happen.
所以喺佛教裏面又講啦，其實一切嘅事情其實都會發生喺我哋身上嘅。
Life is uncertainty. So we have to train our mind. We have to get ready for anything in our life.
由於生命嘅無常啦，所以其實我哋要將我哋自己嘅心力去到培養得更加強壯嘅，令到我哋喺處理任何嘅唔同嘅情景嘅時候、唔同嘅境況嘅時候咧，其實我哋都可以應付自如。
So if we are aware about these kind of things, we can help actually a lots of people in the society, even in our family, with this knowledge.
當我哋知道呢一個法門之後咧，其實我哋可以幫我哋身邊嘅人啦，或者幫更甚嘅就係幫社會上面其他唔同階層嘅人。
So until now, one thing is clear to us, that is, it is true that physical pain is there, and this physical pain can be happen anytime, anyway, with so many known and unknown reasons.
所以我哋依家知道嘅係咩咧？呢一啲痛楚其實係可以隨時隨地會發生嘅。
In Buddhism, especially in Dhammapada, it says, Arogya Paramalabha. This is Pali stanza, Pali words. The meaning is, health is highest gain.
剛剛法師提到嘅呢一個巴利語咧，意思就係健康係我最大嘅財富。
Likewise, in Buddhism, it's talking about 4 kind of very important wealth.
喺佛教裏面咧，亦都有4種嘅財富觀。
So what are these 4 wealth? First one is health is first gain. Okay, and second one is contentment is the highest wealth, and third one is trust people, or trust people are the best relatives. This also wealth, and the final wealth is nirvana, that means liberation, is the another highest wealth.
呢四種財富觀係啲咩呢？第一呢，就係無病係最上利嘅，第二知足最上財，第三信賴最上親，第四涅槃最上樂。
Now, if we look deeply about these four, what we will see is actually there is talking about the physical well-being, it's talking about the mental well-being, it's talking about the social well-being, and finally it's talking about the spiritual well-being.
咁呢四種財富觀其實係講緊啲咩呢？就係喺我哋嘅第一係我哋身體方面啦，第二係心理，第三呢就係社會幸福，第四呢就係精神方面。
There are many people in our society who really take care of their physical well-being, but sometimes they forget about the mental well-being.
喺我哋嘅生活中，我哋身邊好多人呢，都淨係照顧我哋自己嘅身體，我哋色身嘅健康，而忽略咗我哋心理嘅健康。
So we want to think about the physical well-being. That's why we go for the walking, we go for the hiking, we go for the swimming to take care of what? To take care of our body. It's very important.
所以當我哋好注重我哋自己嘅身體健康嘅時候呢，有啲人就會出去散步啦，有啲人會去爬山啦，有啲人會去游水啦。其實做呢一啲嘅事情都係想維持自己嘅色身嘅健康。
But what? If you take care only about your physical, if you forget about your mental, what will happen?
咁但係如果我哋淨係照顧我哋身體上面嘅健康，而忽略咗我哋心理精神上面嘅健康，會發生咩事呢？
There are many people in our society who really take care of the physical body, but they forget about the mental well-being. So they seems very healthy outside, but inside, if you talk with them, if you have a discussion with them, they will say a lots of suffering situation, a lots of painful situation.
所以呢啲人呢，我哋表面睇佢呢好似好健康咁樣，但係呢，當我哋同佢有一啲交談之後呢，我哋睇到，亦都係感受到佢內心其實有好多嘅痛苦同埋掙扎。
We take food for what? For physical body. Same way, we have to take the food for our mental body also.
我哋食嘢係為咗乜嘢？第一，我哋係為咗維持我哋身體、我哋色身嘅健康嘅生存。第二，我哋食嘢亦都會可以維持我哋心理嘅健康。
If you take food for the body, you will be healthy. And when you take the food for the mind, you will be happy.
我哋食能夠維持身體嘅食物，可以令到我哋身體健康。同樣，我哋亦都可以食一啲令到我哋心理健康嘅食物嘅。
So now you can think that whether you want the food for the physical body and you are very healthy, but you are sad. On other hand, you also take food for your physical body and sometimes take care of your mind, then you are also happy.
所以你選擇我哋有一個健康嘅身體，但係心靈上面係痛苦啊，定還是你會選擇身心我哋都係快樂健康嘅呢？
So in the same time, we have to take care of the social well-being also. So what is social well-being? Taking care of your mother, father, sister, brothers, and your family, gathering family, take care of others. This is called the social well-being.
社會幸福感其實係講緊啲乜嘢呢？就係講緊我哋要去好好照顧我哋嘅屋企人啦。
So human life should be what? Should be take caring of others, not like the wild animals, just kicking let them go outside, don't caring about others. It should be not like that. Human life is always what? Taking care of yourself as well as around others who are around you.
人嘅生存呢，我哋唔係淨係照顧自己嘅，我哋要照顧埋我哋身邊嘅眾生。
The most important one is spiritual well-being. So, what is spiritual well-being?
最重要嘅呢，就係精神上面嘅健康嚇。咁精神上面健康係啲咩呢？
So, if you're waiting for like, okay, first I need to take care of my body, then I take care of my mind, then I will take care of my social well-being, then if I take care of the spiritual well-being, it's not one after another. Actually, we can do this simultaneously. 喺身體、心理、社會幸福同埋精神健康，其實呢四者呢，我哋可以同時間去照顧到。So one may ask, how can I do it? So I will say, it takes time. You start to listening. Like today, you are listening Dhamma, discussing Dhamma, taking your body, taking care of your mind, seeing the Buddha statue, seeing the monk. This is actually social well-being. This is actually spiritual well-being. 咁我哋可以點樣做到呢？如果譬如我哋培養我哋嘅社會幸福感啦、精神健康啦，就好似大家在座依家坐喺度聽佛法啦、觀賞佛像啦。So now we all are still human beings and not enlightened yet. So that's why in our daily life we have to go through a lots of challenge, a lots of difficulties, a lots of suffering. 由於我哋依家咧都仲係凡夫眾生啦，我哋依家係仍然係未覺悟，仍然係在迷嘅，所以喺我哋生活上面咧，其實會充滿住好多挑戰同埋困難嘅。Since we are the Buddhist, we have the belief in karma. We accept cause and conditions. So actually, you know what? Since we are the unenlightened being, we have to go through all this suffering not only in this life. If we do not do anything about it, we have to go through this suffering throughout the samsara. 因為我哋大家都係佛教徒啦，咁我哋係相信因果，相信因緣啦。我哋依家做嘅嘢其實唔係淨係為咗今生嘅，其實我哋係為咗我哋嘅來生嚇，令到我哋喺生死輪迴裡面咧過得好一啲嘅。So talking about little bit more in a Buddhist way about the physical illnesses, we have to understand one thing, that is, who is this individual, who is the person. 喺呢度咧，我哋要去首先了解一樣嘢，人其實係啲咩嚟咧？ According to Buddhist analysis, an individual being is the collection of 5 aggregates. What are the 5 aggregates? That is form, feeling, perception, mental proliferations, and consciousness. 人喺佛教嚟講咧，就係一個五蘊嘅集合嚟嘅。五蘊即係色、受、想、行、識。And due to various reasons, that sometimes some reasons are very clear to us, but some reason not clear to us. But somehow, sometimes we get sick physically. Okay? So the problem is, whenever we get sick, we suffer a lot. 人我哋會因為各種原因啊，身體會有疾病嘅。咁當我哋身體有疾病嘅時候，我哋唔淨係身體上面會有痛苦，喺精神上面亦都會受到打擊，受到痛苦。 So, as I am the same as we all, we don't want to get sick, right? We don't want to have any troubles in our life. But still we have to go through so many difficulties, so many suffering.
雖然我哋每個人都唔想自己有任何嘅疾病，有任何嘅困難，但係呢個冇辦法避免。
So, whenever these unexpected things come into our life, or we have to go through such unexpected things, we suffer not only physically, we suffer also mentally.
所以當我哋喺生命上面遇到一啲我哋意想不到嘅意外啊嘅疾病嘅時候咧，我哋遇到嘅時候，我哋唔係淨係身體上面，係心理上面亦都係受到痛苦嘅。
So, in early Buddhism, there are many discourses, there is many discussion, there is many situation where Buddha was talking about the physical sickness, or Buddha was talking about sicknesses.
喺根本佛教裏面咧，好多經典上面有提及到佛陀係有講到身體上面嘅疾病。
One of such discourses is called Roga Sutta in Pali. So, English translation is ill discourses, or we can say the discourses on illness. In this sutta, Buddha talk about two kind of sickness mainly.
喺增支部嘅病經上面咧，佛陀咧有講到有兩種疾病。
So, what are these two kind of sicknesses? One kind of sickness is physical sickness, and second one is mental sickness.
呢兩種係咩咧？第一種就係身體上面嘅病，第二種咧就係心理嘅病。
So, what is physical sickness again according to this sutta? The physical sickness is whatever happening to our physical body is known as physical illness.
喺我哋嘅色身、肉體上面嘅疾病，一切都屬於身體嘅疾病。
And mental illness is what? Mental illness is whatever the mental feeling like sadness, disappointment, angry, stress, or like feeling why I'm sick, feeling so sick, why I'm always sick, why only this happened to me. We always thinking. Actually, those are the mental sickness.
喺心理上面係包括啲咩咧？好似我哋悲傷啦、失望啦、親恨啦、壓力啦，或者當我哋病嘅時候，我哋會問啦：點解會係我病啊？點解會發生喺我身上
？Now, let me bring to that story that I was talking about my mother's friend. Now, did you remember that I was saying her husband is doctor, but she is now suffering with paralyzed. So now she thinking, why this happened to me? I'm having the healthy food. I'm having like so many medicine in my house. Our house is pharmacy. But why this happened to me? She's suffering thinking about like that.
喺開始嘅時候，我講咗一個例子啦，就係我朋友嘅媽媽啦，佢最近癱瘓咗嘅。咁其實咧，佢嘅先生佢係一個醫生嚟嘅，佢會問點解我會得到呢一個癱瘓？點解呢件事要發生喺我身上
？Now some of you may be thinking, how come I go to the temple every day? I talk to the monk every day. I listen to Dhamma every day. Why I'm feeling sick?
咁在座可能有啲人會諗啦，我日日都去寺院，日日都見到法師，點解我都仲會病嘅咧
？And one thing we have to know that you're going to temple, you're going to monk, you listen in Dhamma is a good thing. That's a good karma. In the same times, getting sick is out of our control. That is the worldly phenomena. That is the nature of the world.
但係其實你每一日去寺院， 每一日見到法師，每一日去聽佛法，當然呢一個係一個好好嘅因緣，係你一個好好嘅果報。
Good karma, but unfortunately, the getting sick is our phenomena, that is worldly nature.
雖然呢一個係一個好好嘅果報，但係其實我哋生病呢一個係一個好自然嘅法則嚟嘅。
Now, if we study about this sutta a little bit deeply, in this sutta, Buddha was talking that monks in the world, there are many people who are healthy physically for many years, like 10 years, 20 years, 40 years, likewise hundreds years. There are many people who are healthy physically.
喺呢一部經裏面咧，其實佛陀同佢嘅弟子講，呢個世界咧有一啲人咧，佢身體好健康，佢可以健康10年、20年、40年，甚至乎係100年。
But except an enlightened one, all the people are suffering every moment mentally.
但係除咗覺悟者，佢已經係超脱生死輪迴之外咧，其實每一個人咧喺心理上面都會有疾病。
So now we can see where we are. We can put ourselves in which situation we are.
所以我哋要知道，其實我哋仍然係仲係未擺脱生死輪迴嘅，所以我哋會有心理同埋身體嘅病。
So when we talk about the Buddha, we really respect, we really show our respect to the Buddha, and we really remember all the teachings of him. And sometimes we don't want to hear the Buddha was an ordinary person.
其實咧，佛陀都係一個好普通嘅人嚟嘅。
You know what was happened? One day, a certain person came to the Buddha and was asking, because this certain person saw Buddha is very nice, very pure, and he is like the divine person.
有一日咧，有一班人咧走到去佛陀面前，因為咧佢哋覺得佛陀係一個聖者，好神聖。
He came to the Buddha and he was asking, "Are you the human beings or divine person?"
咁佢哋喺佛陀面前咧就問咗一個問題喎，你究竟係一個聖者定係還是一個普通人呢？
So, what do you think Buddha said about it?
你估佛陀點樣回答呢？
Any answer?
有冇人可以答到呢？
Buddha said, "I am very human being. I'm natural human beings." So Buddha said, "I'm ordinary human beings. It's like you and I, same."
佛陀就回答啦，我係一個好普通嘅人，就好似你同我一樣。
So here same means what? Same means the physical body.
呢度講緊嘅一樣係咩呢？講緊嘅就係我哋大家都有一個色身。
And of course, due to the Buddha's good karma, Buddha had very remarkable physical body, including the 80 great marks. But still, the physical body is like human body.
咁當然啦，佛陀因為佢已經係福慧圓滿啦，咁所以佛陀佢有80種好啦。咁但係喺色身方面咧，其實同我哋都係一樣嘅。
So Buddha and human body, there's a big differences. What the differences? The differences is about the mental development.
但係佛陀同我哋嘅分別係乜嘢？呢個分別就係喺心理方面啦。
One day Buddha said, "I am like a lotus in a muddy pond."
有一日佛陀就講啦，我咧就好似喺泥濘裡面嘅一朵蓮花。
Do you think the lotus bloom in the swimming pool? It's never, right? It's never happened like that. It's always bloom in the muddy water.
蓮花一般都會喺泥濘裡面嘅，佢唔會係喺泳池裡面嘅。
So Buddha said to that certain person, yes, I know the society is corrupted, society full of evil things, but still, being a noble person, I've trained my mind, I bloom out of dirty water and spreading the smell, good smell toward the others.
雖然喺五濁惡世裏面都係受到污染嘅，但係我哋可以去訓練我哋嘅心啦，令到我哋去出於污泥而不染。
So here what I want to say is that Buddha's physical body is not different from this physical body. It's the same.
所以講緊嘅係咩呢？如果喺色身方面、身體方面，其實佛陀同我哋係一樣。
So Buddha's physical body also made of what? 4 elements. There are hardness, wateriness, and heat and wind.
佛陀嘅身體呢，同我哋一樣，都係由4大組合嘅。4大係地、水、火、風。
And of course, you should not misunderstand that Buddha's physical looking is same like our looking. It's a difference because Buddha has a great marks in his body.
咁喺外相嚟講，當然佛陀同我哋唔同啦，因為佛陀佢福慧圓滿，所以佢嘅外相比我哋好睇好多㗎。
So in short, what I'm saying is this, the nature of Buddha's physical body is not different from human body. It's the same with human body.
所以其實最後講嘅係啲咩呢？就係佛陀嘅色身同我哋係冇分別嘅。
So what is the nature of the now human body? The nature of the human body is getting old, getting, the weak. These are the nature of human body.
人嘅色身呢，有一個特質嘅，就係我哋都會老，都會去衰退嘅。
When we study the suttas or discourse in the canon, there are many situations where Buddha was telling Buddha's physical difficulties. One of the such sutta is called Gilana Sutta.
喺呢度呢，我哋要介紹一部經，就係相應部嘅病經。
So in this Gilana Sutta, Buddha was telling that to his attendant, the attendant was Venerable Ananda. He said, Ananda, I am now old. I cannot handle sometimes my body. My life is going ahead is like what? Like the cart. So difficult for me to sometimes go ahead.
佛陀同阿難尊者講：阿難，我依家年紀好大啦，亦都接近80歲啦。我依家呢個身體就好似一架車咁樣，而呢架車就係俾好多嘅布去包住，先至可以勉強去行。
So there also one statement where Buddha was telling to Ananda that Ananda, I'm having the backache, pain in my back, so let me have some rest. 喺經典上面呢，亦都佛陀有提到，佢同阿難尊者講：阿難，我依家個背脊好痛啊，我需要休息一陣。So now you are thinking, why I'm telling these things? The reason I'm telling these things to you is, Buddha is a great person who is already enlightened. Buddha also had to go through this kind of physical suffering. So who you are, who am I, who we are? 所以我依家要喺度同大家講啲乜嘢呢？佛陀佢係一個大嘅覺悟者，佢仍然都要去經歷身體上面嘅痛苦。
相比起我哋仍然未覺悟，仍然係在迷嘅。所以我哋有身體上面嘅痛苦，亦都係好正常。
Sometimes it is so unbelievable. How come I get sick? I'm eating the healthy food. As I said earlier, I go to temple, I do the monastery, I go to the walking meditation, I do the sitting meditation, I do the exercise. I do all the good things. But still I'm getting suffering with my physical pain. How come?
有時我哋生病嘅時候，我哋會諗啊，點解我會病嘅呢？點解呢個病會喺我呢度呢？我成日去寺院去修福培德，我又會做禪修，我又會好注意我自己嘅身體，食得好一啲，又成日做運動。
So one of the suffering, okay, so in the Buddha's teaching, first sermon is called the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta. I think it's very known to all of you. In this sutta, it's talking about several dukkha or suffering. One of them suffering is what? Associating with the things that I don't want. That means we don't want to suffer, but we still have to go through it. That is the suffering in the Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, the Buddha's first discourses.
喺轉法輪經上面咧，其實咧都會有提到苦呢一樣嘢嘅嚇，當中咧亦都會有提到有一啲眾生其實佢唔想去受苦。
So when we talk about the physical illness, the Buddhism, the Buddha was living nearly 2,500 years ago, right? Actually, Buddha was talking about so many physical illnesses. So some of them we can find in this sutta. So I would like to read all these sutta, the sicknesses, with all of you.
喺2500幾年前咧，其實佛陀咧已經係講到好多喺身體上面會發生嘅病，好似喺呢一部經啦，喺增支部嘅基利曼陀羅經上面，咁會講到好多唔同嘅疾病。而呢一啲身體上面嘅疾病咧，就包括啦眼疾、耳疾啦、鼻啦、我哋嘅脷啦、身體啦、頭啦、外耳啦、口啦、牙齒啦、唇啦、咳嗽啦、喘氣啦、外鼻疾啦、熱病啦、腦啦、腹疾啦、昏迷啦、下痢啦、腹痛啦、霍亂啦、麻風、腫瘤、癬、肺疾、癲癇、鱗癬、疥癬、風癬、賴病啦、皮膚嘅乾裂、血膽病、糖尿病、痔瘡、水泡、潰瘍、膽、痰、風起嘅疾病啦，或者係膽、痰、風三者集合嘅疾病啦。天氣變化啦，我哋嘅姿勢唔正確啦，或者係一啲突如其來發生嘅病啦，熱暴產生嘅病啦，冷啦、熱啦、飢餓啦、口渴啦、瞓啦、尿啦。
So you see, this list only coming from one sutta. So like that, there's many suttas, many discourses where Buddha was talking about the physical illnesses.
所以你睇下咁多病裏面，其實只係出現喺呢一部基利曼陀羅經裏面嘅啫。所以我哋可想而知，其實喺其他嘅經典上面會有更多係講到我哋身體上面其他病嘅。
So when we look this list, we see there's the sicknesses related to eye, related to ear, related to mouth, related to physical body, right? And some of them we don't know actually, but it was known to the Buddha. So what we can tell is, Buddha had a very clear pictures, Buddha had a very clear knowledge about these physical illnesses.
所以佛陀喺呢一方面咧，對於我哋身體嘅 各種嘅疾病咧，佛陀係好清楚。
So knowing all these sicknesses, in order to overcome these sicknesses, Buddha taught the way out of these sicknesses. Knowing this, all the things. So now you see, when we look all the things, it was very clear to the Buddha. So Buddha knew all these, and he also taught the way how to overcome these sicknesses.
因此咧，佛陀咧就為我哋開示咗我哋點樣可以去處理我哋嘅疾病啦。
So before go to the next slide, I have the question. So sometimes, that is, whenever we get sick, we think always, oh, this is my bad karma. I did something wrong. Or karma always happening to me. That's why I'm getting sick. Do you have such thoughts sometimes?
喺我哋繼續講落去之前咧，我想問大家一個問題：如果我哋生病嘅時候，我哋會唔會問我哋自己點解我哋會有呢一個果報？點解我哋會承受呢一個惡果呢？你哋有冇咁樣諗過？
Buddha was know this thing very well. That's why he also pointed out the root causes of physical sick.
佛陀咧其實都會有關注到呢個問題嘅，咁所以點解佛陀會有講到身體上面嘅病呢？
So when we talk about the reasons or the root causes of the physical suffering, there is one sutta is called the Sivaka Sutta.
當我哋講緊身體病痛嘅原因嘅時候咧，我哋有一部經可以去參考，就係相應部嘅屍婆經。
In this particular sutta, Buddha was pointing out a few reasons why a person gets sick physically.
喺呢度咧，佛陀有講到咧，我哋身體生病有幾個原因嘅。
First reason is sometimes it is because of sometimes we feel difficulties or feel pain in our physical body because of bile disorder or because of the flame disorder, sometimes because of the wind disorders.
其中一個原因咧，就係我哋嘅膽、痰同埋風三者失調。
Now I believe that these terms is very known to you because these also used in the herbal medicine and Chinese classical medicine also.
我諗大家可能都會對呢一啲膽痰風啊，呢一啲咁樣嘅名相係好熟悉啊，因為喺我哋嘅中醫上面其實成日都會有講到。
So sometimes we see we have the suffering in our life because of the imbalance of these three elements.
所以其中一種病咧，就係因為膽痰風呢三樣嘅元素失調而引起嘅。
Another causes Buddha was pointing out, that is the change of climate or careless behavior.
另外有兩個原因咧，就係因為天氣嘅變化啦，同埋我哋自己嘅疏忽嘅。
So people cut the trees and said it's too sunny.
有啲人咧去斬樹啊。
Too sunshine, too strong. The sunshine is too strong. They feel like very hot, so they get sick, right? When they cut the trees.
Yeah.
So when they cut the trees and there is no shadow, right? And sun is directly come to the physical body, and people feel like it's too strong. Yeah. We can say one reason here they have changed the nature.
有啲人咧會斬樹啊！斬樹嘅原因咧，因為話天氣好熱啊，咁所以咧，但係斬咗樹之後咧，因為嗰個太陽咧會直接去曬到我哋啊，咁所以咧，我哋因此而生病。
The happy thing is this is not happening in actually this country. As I observed, but some of the part in the world today is a big problems. You know, top 10 problems. Among the top 10 problems, first one of them is climate changing is the biggest problem nowadays in the world.
而呢一啲問題咧，其實係一個全球性嘅問題啊。咁呢一個咧就會引起全球嘅天氣變化。
So because of the climate changing, people get sick also.
就係因為全球嘅天氣變化、全球嘅天氣改變咧，所以咧人係會生病。
The next point Buddha pointed out in this sutta is careless behaviors. Careless behavior means don't have proper time to sleep, don't have proper time to wake up, don't have proper time to take rest for the physical body. So then they get sick.
另外一個原因咧，係我哋疏忽照顧自己，例如我哋好夜瞓啦，然後咧就好晏起身啦，或者係我哋冇好好咁樣照顧到我哋自己身體啦。
There are people who are working day and night without taking rest. But after working, having earned a lots of money, they get sick and they spend that money to the hospital.
就好似有啲人咧，日以繼夜咁樣好努力咁樣做工作，咁佢哋賺到錢之後咧，身體就開始生病啦。咁所以佢哋嘅錢咧，其實都用嚟去睇醫生。
Again, I would say it may not happening in this country, but it's happening in the world. There's many people who do not take care of, who do not take the proper rest for their physical body, so they get sick.
當然呢個問題唔係淨係喺香港咯，呢個係全世界都會有嘅問題嚟嘅。
So again, we can see careless behavior or careless, the attitude, and sometimes sudden accident or sometimes heat. Many ways we feel pain or we suffer physically a lot.
所以有時係因為太過熱啦，有時又會因為會有意外啦，所以我哋會承受住身體各種嘅痛楚。
In this particular sutta, Buddha of course pointed out that there are some sicknesses in our life due to the karma.
喺呢部經裏面咧，佛陀亦都有提到另外一個原因咧，係因為我哋嘅果報。
So how do we understand the sicknesses due to the karma? For example, if you kill the animals, it will happen to you. There is karma. If there is so many situations where the people, for their enjoy, they cut the limbs of the animals, they cut or kill the animals. Yes, so according to the karma theory, when they are burned in the next birth, they will have what? Lack of limbs. They will have lots of physical difficulties.
咁果報係啲咩咧？例如我哋會殺生啦，我哋會殺其他動物啦，或者有啲人會斬動物啲手腳啦。以後我哋得到嘅就係我哋嘅手腳就會冇咗啦。
So regarding this, it says, you should not kill the animals. In the same time, give some freedom to the animals also. 所以喺呢度講緊嘅，其實我哋唔係淨係唔去殺生，而我哋亦都需要去護生嘅。Because it's really effective good karma to have the good physical and healthy life. 因此，我哋以後嘅生命咧會得到善果嘅。Now, so far, finally, what we have understand is all kind of physical suffering and turn into mental suffering is because of our attachment. 我哋喺呢度總結一下，其實我哋因為身體嘅病而心理又受苦，原因係啲咩嘢咧？原因就係我哋對自己嘅執着。We say this is my suffering, I am the suffering, and this suffering to happening to me. So in this way, we always attach to the suffering. 就好似話我呢一個係我而家受緊苦啦，
依家呢個苦喺我呢一度啦，咁呢一啲全部都係我執嘅表現嚟嘅。
So can we overcome this suffering?
咁我哋可唔可以去克服呢一啲嘅心理障礙呢？
So regarding this, more about this, we will talk after a short break.
關於呢一點呢，我哋喺休息之後，我哋會去向大家講解嘅。